May I ask you what you want to say to her, what your first words will be?
Welcome home, honey.
You're going down there to do what?
I'm going down there to bring her home to a whole new life. A life that we can enjoy together in hopes of helping other people. I know she wants to work in some fashion to help troubled young women in their lives, as she has already with other young women who have been incarcerated at the time that she was down there, and we've received letters saying that if it hadn't been for my wife, they would be back in prison.
Her health?
Considering the fact that she has mitral valve prolapse, she has heart arrhythmia, and she's a picky eater. And the food in a prison is not the best in the world. All things considered, I'm amazed that she looks and feels as good as she does. However, when she comes home, the first thing we want to do is get her proper medical attention and get her checked out and get her in a situation where she can have all the food she wants.
What else will you do for homecoming?
Well, hopefully the church will allow us, which they've already said they would, to have a homecoming for her, so the members of the church who have never met her can unite with her and make her feel like she's a part of the church, which she never got a chance to be since her incarceration, and let her attorney come and share that experience, and so that we can thank him for the good work that he did.
Your thoughts now in the planning. What do you, tell me your plans for the next, when will you find out?
Sometime this week I should get a call from Stephen Johnson and letting me know that I can come pick her up. I'm going to try to keep that as much of a secret as possible because, you know, I've learned that it's hard to know how the media will portray you and what you say, and I want her to feel like she's being reunited with her family first rather than being united with the press. But there will be a time that once we get her medically checked out and she gets some solid meals under her waist and reunites with her family, that she will want to express her thoughts to the media.
Any apologies from the authorities in Tennessee?
None whatsoever. In fact, I heard someone from the prosecution side say that they felt like it was an injustice for someone who had been a fugitive for 2 years to be set free. You know, I can't comprehend the mentality of prosecutors, and I'm not knocking them. They got their job to do, same as our attorney had his job to do in setting a person who was innocent and let justice be served in a manner that would set her free.
Can you contain your emotions?
I'm trying. When I see my wife, I'm sure that won't happen. There'll be a lot of it. It'll be a very emotional time. And I have missed my wife tremendously. And I'm just looking forward to being able to do more than just hold her hand. Because that's all we can do, and I've been able to do for 11 years.
People say, how have you been able to be so loyal?
I don't know. You know, I've had friends, personal friends, tell me that, you know, if it had been them, they'd have walked a long time ago. But I know my wife, and I know she's a good person. And I'm not going to abandon her under any circumstances.
Do you think her adjustment will be difficult for her coming back?
There'll be some difficulty, but I know her well enough to know that as long as she's got her family around her and I'm with her, she'll make that adjustment. She'll probably have a hard time finding how to adjust to all of these smartphones.
And getting this story down in writing, how are you going to handle that?
Well, that's her job on her story. My story is basically for better or for worse, a love story with Tennessee's Most Wanted Fugitive, and how I ended up realizing who she was under extreme circumstances when we walked out of that Columbus Athletic Club and were surrounded by Bureau of Investigative agents telling me that they thought they had the person that had been a fugitive for 32 years when I thought they were after me for cutting off a four-wheeler with my 18-wheeler.
There was a time that you didn't believe it, or at least that you protected.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when she was arrested, I just couldn't believe, you know, here's a woman that they say was a convicted felon for first-degree murder, and I said, that's not my wife. She's not the kind of person, she couldn't commit that kind of a crime. You know, and until we were taken downtown, and I didn't have that option, you know, because they wanted to know whether or not I had been harboring a fugitive. And had they thought I had been harboring a fugitive, I would have been arrested and put in jail on the spot. But after 2 hours of interrogation, they realized her family and me did not know her past. And therefore, we were not an accomplice in harboring a fugitive, and they let me go.
When did you believe it?
When they told me the fingerprints matched their files.
Did it change your life?
Didn't change it, no. Because after that, I was allowed to see my wife when I looked her square in the eye and asked her if she had any part in the killing of anybody. And she looked me square in the eye and said, no, I did not. I said, that's all I needed to know. I'll stand by you until we get you home.
And she's coming home.
And she's coming home.